My name is Zhang Yu. I am 28 years old this year, and I am a designer at an advertising company. Since childhood, I have been best friends with my close friend Wang Li, and our friendship has lasted until now. Wang Li is also 28 this year and is a purchasing manager at a fashion company. She is a lively and cheerful girl with a straightforward personality. We have been classmates since elementary school, later went to the same university, and rented a house together, sharing everything as close friends. Wang Li is as close to me as family, and there are no secrets or reservations between us. Sometimes I envy having such a confidant with whom I can share the joys and sorrows of life, supporting and encouraging each other. Unknowingly, we have been together for more than 20 years, and I sincerely hope this friendship can last forever. In the summer of 2022, Wang Li and I met Li Ming at a bar. That day we planned to relax and have a few drinks at the bar. Unexpectedly, we met Li Ming there, a tall and handsome guy with a strong appearance. "Hey, are you two beautiful ladies here alone?" Li Ming boldly approached us. Wang Li and I exchanged glances, both attracted by his sunny smile and generous demeanor. "We are good friends. Are you here alone?" Wang Li asked back, blinking. From that day on, Li Ming often invited us out to have fun. As time went by, he completely integrated into my and Wang Li's circle of friends. One time, Li Ming invited us to the amusement park, and we were like three carefree big kids, having a great time. Wang Li suddenly pulled me and said, "Zhang Yu, don't you think Li Ming is really nice? Shouldn't I be brave and confess to him?" I looked at Wang Li, and deep down I hoped she could be with Li Ming, because he is indeed a great guy, and I felt happy for her. "Go for it, don't miss the opportunity. If you get rejected, we are still good friends," I happily encouraged her. Watching Wang Li muster the courage to confess to Li Ming, and he happily agreed, I felt genuinely happy for them. Meeting the right person is a kind of fate, and I hope their relationship can last as long as my friendship with Wang Li. Since Wang Li and Li Ming officially established their relationship, the three of us formed a unique way of getting along. Sometimes it was just me and Wang Li going shopping or watching movies. Other times, Li Ming invited us to play basketball or work out together. Gradually, the three of us became inseparable, enjoying everything together. "Zhang Yu, do you think Li Ming is getting more handsome? I'm so lucky to have such a great boyfriend," Wang Li once said to me happily. I nodded with a smile. "Yes, you two are truly a perfect match." Li Ming hugged Wang Li's shoulders and said indulgently, "With Zhang Yu as such a good friend by our side, our lives will be so rich and colorful." Seeing Wang Li and Li Ming in love, I felt genuinely happy for them. But at the same time, I began to have some other thoughts. Shouldn't I also start preparing for my lifelong matters? However, I was reluctant to let this beautiful time of the three of us come to an end. I started to feel a bit conflicted and struggled. On one hand, I hoped Wang Li and Li Ming's relationship could shine brighter like a polished nut. On the other hand, I longed to have a sweet romance of my own, so I wouldn't end up alone in the future. In fact, Li Ming also began to feel some struggles inside. He was increasingly attracted to me and Wang Li as a pair of good friends. Wang Li is lively and cheerful, decisive in handling matters, while I am sunny and warm, humble in character. Our personalities complement each other perfectly, giving him a sense of home. Sometimes Li Ming would wonder if Zhang Yu had confessed to him first, would he have made a different choice? However, everything is already destined now, and he can only work hard to love his current girlfriend and manage this relationship well. One ordinary weekend, an unexpected event exposed the relationship between the three of us to the light. That day, I invited Wang Li and Li Ming to my house as guests. Unexpectedly, a small friction occurred between Wang Li and Li Ming at my house. "Why do you always secretly message Zhang Yu on your phone? Can't you focus when we're together?" Wang Li questioned Li Ming angrily. I was startled by this small friction and quickly tried to mediate, saying, it's okay, let's just get along well and not create conflicts." However, Wang Li's subsequent questioning left both of us in shock and anger. "Zhang Yu, has Li Ming been messaging you a lot lately? Are you two having some kind of relationship beyond friendship behind my back?" Wang Li asked me with a choked voice. I was taken aback and didn't know how to respond. Of course, I would have some ordinary communication with Li Ming, but I never thought about having any inappropriate relationship with him. "Wang Li, how can you say that? We're just ordinary friends," I hurriedly explained, feeling extremely wronged. Seeing the two of us arguing, Li Ming also began to feel guilty and ashamed. He knew he had a bit of feelings for both of us that went beyond friendship, which is why he unconsciously became close to both. Tears welled up in Li Ming's eyes, and he sincerely hoped we could forgive his mistakes. I was stunned by this news. My mind went blank for a while. After a long time, I finally came to my senses and quickly hugged Wang Li, saying, "Don't worry, with me here, we will definitely get through this together." But not long after, Li Ming and I still couldn't resist the temptation from each other and had a relationship behind Wang Li's back. What's even more shocking is that just a month later, I found out I was pregnant. At first, I couldn't believe it, but when I saw the 2 red lines on the pregnancy test, my heart sank. I trembled as I called Li Ming. "Li Ming, come over quickly, I have something very important to tell you." When Li Ming rushed over, I nervously handed him the pregnancy test. When he saw the 2 red lines, he stood there in shock, pale as a ghost. This shocking news undoubtedly brought unprecedented impact and challenges to the relationship between the three of us. For a moment, we all fell into an unprecedented dilemma and entanglement. "Zhang Yu, I really don't know what to do," Wang Li cried in pain, covering her face. "We were the best of friends, but now we are both pregnant with Li Ming's child at the same time. How ironic is that?" I hugged Wang Li, tears streaming down my face. We used to be such close friends, sharing everything, but now this situation is truly unbearable. In the following days, the three of us struggled to think about how to face this dilemma. We argued constantly and even had a falling out at one point, but in the end, we chose to meet honestly. "The three of us are no longer just ordinary friends," Li Ming said. "There is a different kind of bond between us, which has led to today's situation." I nodded and continued, "Since this has happened, we should face it properly instead of avoiding it. Can the three of us form a family and raise these 2 children together?" Wang Li looked at us with a complicated expression. "I know this is a very bold idea, but do we really have the courage for it? And how will society view us?" After a deep discussion and reflection, the three of us finally made up our minds to face the future bravely and share the burden of this family together. Society's views are certainly important, but what matters more is the bond we have with each other, I said firmly. "As long as we truly love each other, there is no obstacle we can't overcome." Li Ming also nodded solemnly. "I will do my utmost to manage this family well and lead it to happiness." Wang Li tightly linked her arms with mine and Li Ming's, finally revealing a long-lost smile. "Let this bond between us never be separated." Thus, the three of us finally found peace in our hearts and prepared to face the future together. A year later, on a sunny day, Wang Li and I gave birth to two lovely children, one boy and one girl. Li Ming was so happy he couldn't stop smiling, carefully holding the two children and kissing their little faces. "My precious son, my little princess, you must take care of yourselves as you grow up," Li Ming said with tears in his eyes. Wang Li and I exchanged a smile, and at that moment, we felt such happiness and warmth in our hearts. After going through this twist and turn, I finally realized that on the road of life, we often encounter some perplexing dilemmas and challenges. But as long as we face them bravely, we can definitely find a way out. Looking back now, I do not regret experiencing this. Although at first, the three of us suffered greatly, in the end, we chose to cherish each other and shoulder our responsibilities together. I sincerely wish for our three children to grow up healthy and happy. They are the best testament to the bond between us and the hope and future of our family. As long as the feelings between the three of us remain unwavering, we will surely walk hand in hand towards a beautiful tomorrow. I am filled with longing and expectation for the future, believing that we will definitely be happy and healthy. Although the three of us made this bold decision, truly adapting to the new lifestyle is not an easy task. At first, we often quarreled over trivial matters. One time, Wang Li complained that Li Ming spoiled the son too much and neglected the daughter. I quickly mediated, saying, "Li Ming is a new dad. You should be more understanding of him." Li Ming retorted, "How am I biased? I love both children equally." Such small frictions often occurred, but we finally realized that only by understanding and tolerating each other could this family go further. Besides internal adjustments, the three of us also had to learn to face external criticism and doubts. After all, our three-person family model is still relatively rare in society. One time, I received a malicious phone call, "Your immoral behavior is harming the children. How can you justify this to these innocent little lives?" I was so angry that I trembled and hung up the phone. Li Ming came over to comfort me, while Wang Li shed tears. "Don't pay attention to them. Our bond is pure and doesn't need to be judged by others," Li Ming said firmly. Since then, the three of us became more united, supporting each other and jointly resisting external criticism. Time flew by, and before we knew it, the children had grown up. As parents, we felt immense comfort in their healthy growth. One day, our daughter suddenly asked me, "Mom, why did you choose this three-person family model back then? Don't you think it's strange?" Our son then hugged all three of us and said, "Mom and Dad, thank you for your brave choice back then, which gave us this complete family. We will always love you." Hearing the children's words, all three of us were moved to tears. Indeed, the bond between us is the most precious treasure. It has created this happy family. Life is like this, full of joy yet also full of twists and turns. Not long after the children each started their own families, a sudden car accident took Li Ming's life. When Wang Li and I received this terrible news, we fell into endless sorrow. Li Ming left us just like that, leaving behind the family he cherished with all his efforts throughout his life. "Li Ming, don't worry, we will be fine." With tears in my eyes, I promised in front of Li Ming's portrait, "You will always live in our hearts. We will always love you and remember you." Wang Li cried bitterly, almost fainting. I quickly supported her, and the two of us embraced and wept, as if we had returned to that most helpless time. Losing Li Ming added a touch of desolation to our lives. However, we still have each other and the companionship of the children. We must not give up the meaning of life. Thus, days passed, and we learned to find joy in life again without Li Ming. Sometimes we would reminisce about the wonderful times the three of us had together. Those laughter and joy would reappear in our minds like an illusion. We began to consciously participate in some charitable activities and often invited the children and their families to gather at our home. Wang Li and I started writing memoirs, hoping to record that unique experience for future generations. Yes, life will eventually come to an end, but love and friendship are eternal. As long as we live each day, we must learn to be grateful for life, to love life, until the moment we close our eyes. Life is like a long journey, with ups and downs, twists and turns. But as long as we face it bravely, we will surely find our own happiness and joy. I sincerely wish for myself and Wang Li, may we support each other like this, grow old together, and slowly complete this life.